Namo Vishnupalaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swami Niti Namini. Namo Vishnupalaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitamena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Shiyuta Padakamalam Sri Guru Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sakagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sakagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namosute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarvyascha Kripa Sindhubhye Vachapatitana Palnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Iswaraga Paramaha Krishnaga Satchidananda Vigraha Anadi Radir Govindaga Sarvakarana Karanam. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. By the causeless mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, we are nicely studying Bhagavad Gita, the king of knowledge, Raja Vidya. So in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna, now we are studying in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, the three modes of material nature. So these three modes of material nature, we know that everyone is forced to act by these three modes of nature, but it's also very, very highly contagious. So even if we want to not get disturbed by these modes of nature, but still, if we are attached to anyone, maybe any close relative, any close, maybe children or family or spouse or anyone, if you are closely attached, if they are not able to control their modes of nature, the three modes of nature, and then even we, the individual self also will get immediately affected by them. Because these three modes of material nature are very, very highly contagious. So that's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita, the knowledge means the real knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is teaching in the 13th chapter we studied. So that is, Asaktige anavisvangaha putradara grihadisu nityam samachittatvam ishtanishto papattisu. That's what Krishna is teaching us. So one should not be attached to anything. That's very important. But in this material world, in terms of our practical life every day, in terms of reality, it is very difficult. But we will have to simply pray to Krishna, simply depend on Krishna. Then only it is possible for us to free ourselves from these three modes of material nature, because Krishna will create ways for us to free ourselves. When we are really very sincere, very serious in this effort, so then Krishna will definitely help us. There is no doubt about it. So by Krishna's causeless mercy, we can definitely free ourselves from the three modes of material nature. So that's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita that always we should remember only Krishna. So we should depend only on Krishna on everything. So one should not be too much attached to, not only too much, one should not be not at all attached to anything in this material world. If we are attached, then we will be controlled by the modes of nature. There is no doubt about it. So, but we need to pray to Krishna. Krishna's mercy, we are getting this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and each and every individual self is a soul, Atma. And all these relationships, what we have in this material world, everything is temporary. Everything based upon the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we can do all the activities as responsibilities which are offered to Krishna. Because Krishna is teaching us that yajna yacharataha karma That's what is very important. So all the activities should be performed only as an offering unto Krishna. So that's what is very important. So we have to perform all the activities only for Krishna. Then samagram praviliyate. Then we will be able to entirely merge into Krishna consciousness. Samagram praviliyate. So that means, that's what we studied in the sloka, in the 4th chapter, 24th sloka. Krishna is teaching us that Gata sangasya muktasya jnana avastita chetasa yajnaya charataga karma samagram praviliyate. That's what we studied. So in the 4th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that. So in the sloka number 23 or 24, Krishna is teaching that Gata sangasya muktasya. So we should be completely, our attachment should be gone. Gata sangasya. So if we are attached to anything, then we are immediately controlled by the modes of material nature. So that way, even though in this material world, in reality, we have to face a lot of problems. But if we depend on Krishna, Krishna will solve all those problems. That's what happened to Arjuna. Arjuna was attached to everyone. He was attached to his grandfather Bhishma. He was attached to his teacher Dronacharya, everyone. So that's why even he told Krishna that Katham Bhishma Maham Sankhe Dronam Cha Madhusudana Isu Bigi Pratiyotsyami Pujarha Varisudana. That's what he said. So how can I counterattack with arrows, Bhishma and Drona? So that's what he asked, Bhishma. So then Krishna, when he taught Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna himself told Arjuna that they are already killed by me. So it's not that you are attacking them with arrows. So you think that you are the doer, but you are not the doer. So you understand that everything is done by the modes of nature, done by me. If you don't listen to me, then if you think that you are the doer, you will be forced to act by your modes of nature. You will still go and kill your grandfather Bhishma and your teacher Dronacharya. That is going to happen because that's going to happen by the modes of nature. So Prakriti Stvam Niyokshit. So that way, just think that you are my devotee. So already Krishna told Arjuna that Bhaktosi me sakacheti ragasyamgi etat uttamam, because you are my devotee and my friend. So that's why I'm teaching you this topmost confidential knowledge. Ragasyamgi etat uttamam. So think that you are my devotee. So just you act for me. That's it. So get attached only to me. So that way, if we are attached only on Krishna, so then by Krishna's causeless mercy, then we will be able to free ourselves from the 3 modes of material nature. So that's very important. We have to focus on this. It's very, very important. So these 3 modes of material nature are very, very strong and very powerful. Krishna is teaching us that they are Devige Esa Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratya. So if we are attached only to Krishna, so that means we have knowledge. If we are attached to anything else in this material world, that means we don't have knowledge. So we need to have this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. We need to act as per this knowledge. So it may look very difficult to do, but it is really very easy to do. Getting attached to Krishna, giving up all other attachments, everything is really, really very easy to do. Because with the knowledge, all such miracles will happen in our life. Everything is in our mind only. What our mind is thinking, what our mind is focusing, so that's what is very important. When our mind is thinking only about Krishna, so when we are attached only to Krishna, that's what Ishta and Ishto Upapatti. So, Maichananya Yogena, so Krishna is saying that Asakti Anapiswangaga Putradara Grihadisu, Maichananya Yogena Bhaktir Avyabhichari. Vivikta Desa Sevitvam Maratiki Jana Samsadi. So, Nityam Samachittatvam Ishtanishto Upapattisu. So, Nityam Samachittatvam Ishta Anishto. So, Ishta Anishto means what we like and what we don't like. So, we should be equal. We should not be thinking that I like this or I hate this, not like that. Because if we are like this, then in our next life, we will get the results based on something what we like or what we don't like or mixed. That's what Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita. Ishta Anishto. So Ishtam, Anishtam, Mishram, Cha, trividaha karmanaha palam bhavatyatyāginām pretya natu sannyasinām kvachit. Ishtam, anishtam, mishram cha. So ishtam, what we like, anishtam, what we don't like, mishram, mixed. So those kind of results. Trividaga karmanaga palam. Trividaga karmanaga palam means 3 types of results. That's what we are going to get. It is what we think that in this life itself we are getting results. So what we are doing it, that's not the case. What result we are going to get in our next life, that's what is very important. So ishtam, anishtam, mishram cha trividaga karmanaga palam bhavat atyaginam pretya. Atyaginam, a person who is not a tyagi, a person who is not giving up the attachment to the results of activities. So pretya means after we die, after we leave this body, when we get the next body. So bhavat atyaginam pretya. So they will get these kinds of results in the next life. That is ishtam, anishtam, mishram cha. So what we like, what we don't like, and the mixed. So those kinds of results. But natu sannyasinam kvachit. But a person who is a sannyasi, so that means who is not attached to the results of activities, who is not giving up the activities, but who is able to give up the results of the activities, who is not affected by the results of the activities, natu sannyasinam kvachit. So such a person is actually not going to get such results in the future, in the next life. So atyaginam pretya, when we become, when our body is dead, when we get our next body, so at that point of time, we will not get all these results. So we will be freed from all the reactions of our actions. Whereas if we are attached here in this material world, material sense objects, so all kinds of other things, whatever we do with attachments, so then we are going to get these kinds of results, these 3 types of results. That's what anishtam, ishtam, mishram cha, trividaga karmanaga palam. So now Krishna is teaching us in this Bhagavad Gita how to give up all such attachments, how to free ourselves from the 3 modes of material nature. So that's what we are studying in the 14th chapter. In the 14th chapter itself is titled as 3 modes of material nature. So that's what Krishna is teaching. So we studied first 4 slokas in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna is teaching here. In the first sloka what we studied, Sri Bhagavan Vacha Param Bhuyaha Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanam Uttamam Yajnatva Munayaga Sarve Param Siddhim Yito Gatha. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, Param Bhuyaga Pravakshyami Jnananam Jnanam Uttamam. So I am again explaining to you the knowledge which is the ultimate knowledge. Of all the knowledge, this is the topmost knowledge. Jnananam jnanam uttamam yajnatva munayaga sarve param siddhi mitho gataga. By knowing this, many sages in the past have achieved the supreme destination. So supreme gati, param siddhim. So that's what is going to happen to us also, because we are studying this Bhagavad Gita, we are understanding this Bhagavad Gita. For us also, we are going to achieve the supreme destination. For those who are not inclined to study this Bhagavad Gita, who are not interested in studying this Bhagavad Gita, so for them, they are not going to get the supreme destination. They are going to get the most condemned destination. But it's very unfortunate because we can't help. If anyone is not interested in this Bhagavad Gita, that's what is going to happen. We think that this life, we have a lot of our family relations, all such things. But previous life, we had different families. Next life, we will have different families. So all these things are changing. So it is not, nothing is permanent. So this life, whatever we think that our children are our parents, previous life, we had a different family, different parents, different children. And in the next life also, it's going to be completely different. So that way, we need to understand that all these things are temporary. It's all going to change. So as an individual, when we die, only the individual dies. That's it. So when we leave this body, we will leave everything. We will leave all this, everything will be forced to completely cut off from everything, because now whatever our memory is there. So that's what we think, that we identify that this is my friend or brother or my sister or my mother or like different relationships we identify, because it's all stored in our brain. That's it. It is not It's not stored in the soul. It is not even stored in the mind. So it is stored in our brain. So the mind is accessing this memory in the brain, and just we are thinking like that. But in reality, we are, each and every individual is the soul, and we will just leave this body and everything will be completely disconnected. So that is the fact. So the Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again, I shall declare to you the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. That's what Krishna is teaching. Then in the next sloka, idam jnanam upashritya mama sadharmyamagatha sarge pinopajayante pralaye navyadanti cha. So if you take shelter unto this knowledge, so that's what Krishna is teaching there. Idam jnanam upashritya, then you can attain my nature. Mama sadharmyam agata. So that's what is Krishna is teaching. So sargepi nopajayante pralaye navyadanticha. When this world is created, you are not going to come and take birth in this material world. When this material world is annihilated, you are not going to be bothered at all. That's what is going to happen. Idam jnanam upashritya. So if we take shelter unto this Bhagavad Gita knowledge, then we are going to go to Krishna only. So that it's very important. Krishna is teaching that by becoming fixed in this knowledge, one can attain to the transcendental nature like my own. Thus established, one is not born at the time of creation or disturbed at the time of dissolution. So in the next sloka, Krishna is teaching that what we studied in the sloka number 3. Mama yodi mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyakam sambhavaga sarvabhutanam tato bhavati bharata. So mama yoni mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadamyakam. So Krishna is saying that this Mahat Brahma is my Yoni. So this Mahat Brahma is the source of everything. So Krishna is saying that I impregnated. Tasmin Garbham Dadam Yaham. I impregnated this Mahat Brahman. So Mahat means it's material, this material existence. So everything is Krishna only created. So that's why Krishna is teaching in Bhagavad Gita then Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Mattaga Sarvam Pravartade. So that way all living entities have been created from this material Brahman. So tato bhavati bharata. So sambhavaga sarva bhutanam tato bhavati bharata. All living entities, they come into existence. So because Krishna is saying that I am the seed giving father, I created. That's what he says in the next sloka. So the total material substance called Brahman is the source of birth, and it is that Brahman that I impregnate, making possible the births of all living beings, O son of Bharata. So in the next sloka, Krishna is teaching that Sarvayonishu kaunteya murtayaha sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahadyorir aham bija pradaha pita. Sarvayonishu kaunteya, of all living entities. So murtayaha sambhavantiyaha. So they all gets created, they all gets formed. For them, the Mahadyonir, Tasam Brahma Mahadyonir. The Brahma is the source of birth for all living entities is the Brahma. And I am the seed-giving father because Tasmin Garbham Dadam Yagam. So that's why I am the seed-giving father. Aham Bija Pradaka Pita. That's what Krishna is teaching. So it should be understood that all species of life, O son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving father. So then we are continuing in the next sloka. Krishna is teaching us, Sattvam Rajastama Yiti Gunaka Prakriti Sambhavaka Nibadnanti Mahabhako Dehe Dehinam Avyayam. So the Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, these three modes of material nature. Sattvam, Rajas, Tama, Iti. Gunaka, Prakriti, Sambhavaga. These gunas, these three modes of material nature, they are produced from Prakriti. So that's what we need to understand. So Prakriti is Krishna's external energy. So everything is produced. So these three modes of material nature, they bind, Nibandranti, O Mahabaho, O mighty armed, Dehe, Dehinam, Avyayam. So, Dehe is the body. Dehinam Avyayam means the eternal soul. So, the three modes of material nature, they bind the eternal soul inside this body. So, that means we have this body, we are the soul, I am the soul, you are the soul, every individual is the soul, and we are all bound inside this body. Each and every one of us have our own body, and we are bound inside this body, and we are bound inside this body by the three modes of material nature. So right from our birth to death, we are always under the control of the three modes of material nature. So the three modes of material nature is producing our body. The three modes of material nature is binding the soul inside this body. And then the three modes of material nature are doing all the activities. All the activities. Karya Karana Kartrutve Hetuku Prakriti. All the activities. That is Prakrite Kriyamanani Gunehi Karmani Sarvasaga. So all the activities are carried out only by the Prakriti. So our body is created by the Prakriti, the three modes of material nature. We are bound inside this body by the Prakriti, and all the activities are carried out by Prakriti. And what is happening with ourselves, the individual soul? We are bound inside this body. That is the problem. So we need to get liberation, the real independence, so that we should not get another body. So material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, O mighty armed Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. So then in the next sloka, Krishna is continuing. Tatra sattvam nirmalatvat prakasakam anamayam sukha sangena badnati jnana sangena chanaga. So in this, the sattva guna, so which is nirmalam. Nirmalam means which is completely free from all fault. So nirmalam, it's pure. So that's what purest sattva guna. So prakasakam, it's illuminating. Anamayam, so it frees us from sinful reactions. So that's what, without any sinful reaction. Anamayam. So this sattva guna binds one to sukha, happiness. Sukha sangena badnati. And it binds one to jnana, knowledge. Jnana sangena chanaka, O sinless one. Chanaka, O anaka, O sinless one. So this sattva guna, which is very pure, which is nirmalam, it's free from all impurities. That's what nirmalam. So prakasakam, it's illuminating. Anamayam, so it's free from sinful reactions. So that binds the soul, the individual souls, to the happiness and knowledge. Sukha sangena badnati, jnana sangena chana. So if you don't have rajoguna, if you don't have tamoguna, if you have only sattva guna, that binds us to knowledge, that binds us to happiness. So that means we'll get the knowledge that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That means we will be able to focus our mind only on Krishna and free ourselves from all the three gunas, and we can go to Golaka. But if you are bound by the rajoguna and tamoguna, that's not going to happen. So that's what we are going to study in the next sloka. Krishna is going to teach about the rajoguna and then tamoguna. A sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. So in the next sloka, Krishna is continuing. Rajo ragatmakam viddhi trishna sanga samudbhavam tannibadnati kaunteya karma sangena dehinam. So this rajo, you understand, viddhi, you know that raga atmakam. So it is born from raga, attachment, desire. So that's what. If we have desire, then rajoguna gets into picture. Rajoguna will start controlling us. So it's a sanga samudbhav. So it binds one to hankering. So that's what Trishna and sanga, attachment. So it's all produced. So when we are actually focused on material sense objects, when we hanker, when we are going hankering, when we are going after the material sense objects, when we desire. So when we have attachment on the material sense objects, so that means this Rajoguna is produced. This Rajoguna immediately starts controlling us. So that's why in the second chapter we studied, Krishna taught us very clearly that Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaga Sangaste Supajayate. In the sloka number 62 and 63 we studied in the second chapter, Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaga Sangaste Supajayate. Sangat Sanjayate Kamaka Kamat Krodho Vijay. So when our mind is thinking about the material sense objects, then we'll develop attachment on them. So Kamayesa, Krodayesa, Rajoguna, Samudbhavaga. So when we have that attachment, so that raga, that is Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsaga Sangaste Supajayati, when we think about sense objects, when we don't think about Krishna, so then we will develop attachment on that sense objects. Then from such attachment, that's what raga atmakam, Krishna, Sanga Samudbhavam, this Rajoguna Samudbhavam. So this Rajoguna is produced. It is Sangha. It's from the attachment only this Rajoguna is produced. That's what Sangha Samudbhavam. So that is Dhyayato Vishayan Pumsa Sangha Se Supajayate. Then Sangha, then Rajoguna, Rajo Sangha Samudbhavam. So that's what is very important. Then from the Rajoguna, Kama Yesha Krodha Yesa Rajoguna Samudbhavaga. That's what Sangha Sanjayate Kama, Kamat Krodho Abhijayate. So that's what is the Rajoguna. So Thannibadnati Kaunteya Karma Sangena Deganam. So it binds ones to fruity work in this way. So the mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti. And because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material fruitive actions. Then in the next sloka, in the 8th sloka, Krishna is teaching us that Tamastvajnanajam Viddhi Mohanam Sarvadehina Pramadalasya Nidrabis Tannibadnati Bharata. Tamastvajnanajam Viddhi. This tamoguna is produced from ignorance. This Rajoguna is produced from attachment to material sense of raga. Whereas Tamoguna is produced from Ajnanajam. Ajnanajam means born from ignorance. Mohanam Sarva Dehinam. So it makes everyone to delusion. And Pramada Alasya Nidrabis Tannibadnati Bharata. It binds one to delusion and madness and sleep and indolence, all such things. So that's why Pramada Alasya Nidrabi, sleep, Nibadnati, Tannibadnati Bharata. So if you have the Tamoguna. So Krishna is teaching us that, O son of Bharata, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is the delusion of all embodied living entities. The results of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditioned soul. So may Krishna's causeless mercy, we have successfully finished 4 more slokas in the 14th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Now let us chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and focus our mind on the transcendental sound vibration. We will chant 2 rounds of chanting, which will roughly take about 15 minutes. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Radhanath Swaminiti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prashtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Umagyanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrindam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna. Hare Krishna, Tulsi Vilasa Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna to all the devotees. I kindly request the devotees to use the Zoom raise hand feature to ask your questions to Guruji. Guruji, Shashi Rekha Mataji could not join today, but if you can see any new person, so you can unmute them first, Guruji.
Sure, yeah, maybe Chitrita Mataji we can unmute and afterwards.
Okay, Guruji. Chitrita Mataji, you can unmute yourself.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I just wanted one little doubt cleared or explanation regarding the gunas, which you have explained actually earlier about the 7th and the 9th chapter, where you say that Krishna says that they are in me, I am not in them. And then again in the 9th chapter, he goes on to say that I am in them. This little doubt, Guruji, if you can clear.
No. 9th chapter, Krishna is talking about the devotees. In the 7th chapter, Krishna is talking about the modes of nature.
Achha.
So in the 7th chapter, Krishna is teaching us that Tribihi Gunamayeki Bhavaki Yepiki Satvamidam Jagattu Mohitam Nabijanati Mami Epaka Yechaivaka Satvika Bhavaga Rajasa Tamasase Matta Yeviti Tan Viti Natvagam Teshu Temai. I am not in them, they are in me. Natvagam Teshu Temai. Whereas in the 9th chapter, Krishna is teaching towards the end that the devotees, there is samoham sarvabhutesu namedvesho asti na priyaka ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya mayite tesu chapyam. So ye bhajanti tu mam bhaktya, those who render devotional service unto me with devotion, mayite tesu, so they are in me, chapyaham, I am in them. So that Krishna is talking about the devotees here. So whereas in the 7th chapter, Krishna is talking about the 3 modes of material nature. So that's why I was explaining a few weeks ago that we are under the control of modes of nature. So when Krishna is saying that I am not in them, they are in me, but we are in 3 modes of material nature. But when we render devotional service to Krishna with devotion, then Krishna is in us. So that means Krishna is in our control. So when Krishna is in our control, so at that point of time, the 3 modes of material nature are in Krishna's control. So then we can even control the 3 modes of material nature. So we are controlled by the modes of nature, but with love and devotion, if we love Krishna too much, so then we can control not only Krishna and also the 3 modes of nature. You understand that?
Yes, Guruji, clear. The one is about the devotees of us, and the other is talking about the one. Clear, Guruji. Yes. That is one thing. And so, Guruji, when you're talking about the tamaguna, which you said today, tamaguna, can you just explain that little bit one more time, Guruji? The last.
The tamaguna is born from ignorance. Tamas ajnana jam viddhi. Ajnana jam. Ajnana jam means born. Jam means born. Ajnana is ignorance. Born from ignorance. So when we are ignorant, we come under the control of the tamoguna. So then it binds ons to madness, laziness, indolence, like that, sleep, like that. So that's why the tamoguna binds on to that.
And rajaguna is through lust and desire and
that's correct. If we are attached to sense objects, then we are rajoguna. That's what is patient, more passionate.
Achha. Okay, Guruji, understood, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Mani Prabhu, Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah, Guruji. Happy Sunday morning. Guruji, today I could able to focus more. So I concentrated. So there was no public disturbance as such. Guruji, I have one doubt. See this sloka, whatever the lecture you have given, what is the interpretation we should arrive? So for example, in our temple, all the places, so many, they do only Krishna service only. Publicly, they are doing that only. Even in a temple, a person devoting to the God in whatever way, ultimately it is a Krishna only. So what is the interpretation, Guruji? I am little confused here.
There is no need for any interpretation. Bhagavad Gita is very, very straightforward. Krishna is teaching us that we have to serve him, means we just have to follow his instructions. That's it. So whether we are following, whether we know Bhagavad Gita or not, whether we follow Bhagavad Gita or not, that's what is very important. So otherwise we can say only for name's sake we are serving Krishna, but we may not be. Like Arjuna thought that he can fight, he need not fight. So by fighting he will commit sins. By fighting he will be going to hell. So that's what he thought. But Krishna told that by fighting only you will go to heaven. By fighting only you will, if you don't fight, you will commit sins. That's what Krishna said. So that way we should not be thinking that normal, in general, people who go to temple or worship any deities or anything, they are all devotees. So we cannot take it like that. We have to understand that we have to be a devotee of Krishna means we have to listen to Krishna. We should know what Krishna expects from us and meet his expectation. That is very clear. There is no need for interpretation. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is teaching us. Anyone who has any interest in understanding this Bhagavad Gita, then they will become a devotee of Krishna. That's what is very important.
Yeah, Guruji, I mean the Pujari and the Madhadipati and other ritual places where predominantly it is Krishna. Everybody has that knowledge. They would have read, they would have understood, and they might be following it. That is my understanding.
We don't know whether exactly all these 18 chapters, 700 slokas, what Krishna is teaching. If anyone who studies Bhagavad Gita, they won't be even talking about Dvaita, Advaita, this and that and all. Krishna is not even talking about that at all.
Okay, Guruji.
You understand what I am trying to say, correct?
Yeah, I understood. I understood the deep meaning. Yeah, I understood.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. So We have to know Bhagavad Gita, follow Bhagavad Gita. That's it. That's very important. Yes, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare
Balachandran Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Balachandran P. Nayar Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Mohana Ganeshan. Hare Krishna. Prakash Jay Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Brinda Jai Singh Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you for the class. And it's really wonderful to know every day that same knowledge, what we are understanding is the material nature binds us. And we really need to free ourselves. This is what I take back. Yes, but Guruji, it's not, we are more Rajasic and Tamasic than that Satogun, but now we are getting into the Satogun by being in the knowledge. But how is the maintenance done? Because most of the time we are quite passionate about a lot of things.
That's why if we have to keep our main primary task as only like focusing on what Krishna is asking us to do in Bhagavad Gita. So that's what our life should become like. Everything what we do in our life, it should be based on Bhagavad Gita only. So then slowly and steadily we will be like, we have discussed many times in the past, like we have to spread Krishna's message, Bhagavad Gita. There are so many devotees there, don't know that they are devotees. So we have a very important task, service to Krishna, that we have to identify them and give them this knowledge. So if we keep our life very busy in that, so then everything rest is completely taken care of, Mataji. That's what we have discussed, correct, Mataji?
Yes, Guruji, but the other activities also, like doing more pious activities, more austerities, penance, all that comes under Satogun only, no?
Yeah, we have to, that and all. Krishna is even austerity, Yajna, Dana, Tapa. He is already teaching us that what is austerity in the Sattva Guna, or in the Rajoguna and Tamoguna in the 17th chapter. Krishna is already teaching us very, very clearly. So that way, if we have the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, and then do exactly what Krishna is teaching us, what is there in Sattva Guna, so then we are good to go. So that's why we need to have this knowledge. It's very important.
Yes, Guruji, correct. Yes,
because
if
Krishna
we
is
know
teaching what,
only.
yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Yes.
We cannot take it for granted. We cannot do it on our own way. So the thinking that whatever we are doing is right. So that way we are confusing others. We are ourselves confusing us. So we are not getting what is needed. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Very nice
Thank you.
class. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank
Hare.
you, Guruji.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Sangeeta Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much for the class. I really, really enjoy, and every
Yes.
time I listen to you, it's just bliss, and I
Yes,
feel
yes.
like listening more. Yes, I'm just
It
a
is.
beginner, but I'm enjoying every minute and feel totally blessed to be, to be able to attend the class and listen. Thank you.
Bhagavad Gita brings us only happiness, Mataji. That's it,
Yes,
Krishna.
yes. I've started reading it. Yes. Haji, Haji.
Hare Krishna. Hare
There is
Krishna.
a thing in here in Delhi. It's online, and they teach us how to read the shlokas. Learn Gita.
Mhm.
So I've
Mhm.
joined after listening to you. So now that is making sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
First, it not. I was not so much interested, but because of listening to you and now reading that, it's really yes. I'm trying. Yes.
We need
Now.
to understand. We need to understand each and every word in Bhagavad
Yes.
Gita. It's very easy, very simple.
Yeah.
Krishna is using very simple language. It's
Yeah,
not at
but
all.
it's only possible because I listen to you and then I read. On my own, I would not understand anything. I've been
Yes.
trying for months, but I could not understand anything. But now it's making little sense. Yes, yes. I'm on the first step. ground only, but I'm enjoying. Thank
Yes,
you.
we will as I was telling to Brinda Jai Singh Mataji, we keep ourselves very busy in identifying more devotees. So that is the best service we can do to Krishna and devotees, everyone. So then it is really, really, we will be very busy. We'll be able to make very fast progress, Mataji. That's the main.
But I'm very lucky to have. It's very lucky. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Pranam. Hare
Pranam. Hare Krishna. Jyoti Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Class was very nice, Guruji. Thank you so much.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Asha Singh Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you so much, Guruji.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Guru.
Hare Krishna.
Nice
Hare
teaching, Guruji. Very interesting chapter.
Yeah,
Satoguna, Rajaguna, and Tamaguna.
Understand. Yes, Mataji.
By this, we can introspect ourselves very well.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mataji. Krishna's
When we
blessing.
are in Krishna conscious, we are in Satoguna, Guruji.
That is correct. When we are in Krishna consciousness, we are in Nirguna. We are Krishna is we are freed from all the gunas. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Guruji. Very well said, Guruji.
Hare
Thank you
Krishna.
so much, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Ranjit Padi Mataji, Hare Krishna. इसके गार्ग प्रभु, हरे कृष्ण प्रभु.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Am I audible, Guruji?
Yes, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Guruji, thank you very much. A very nice beginning of the Sunday morning, as usual.
Yes, Prabhu.
Always learning so much on a beautiful Sunday. And in fact, Guruji, we have listened to about the nature, the Sat, Raj, and Tamas a number of times. But any times we listen, we find it really something more for the contemplation, for the thinking. It's wonderful, Guruji. This knowledge is really great, Guruji.
This
And
knowledge
every
makes
time-
everything clear. Yes, Prabhu.
Every time we listen, it gives us some more insight into the whole this jnana.
Yes.
Guruji, no question as such, but thank you, grateful to you always and as on day to day also, Guruji. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna,
Thank you,
Guruji.
Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. R.K. Goyal Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for a wonderful class. I was a bit irregular during the last week. Actually, I had some problem of cervical, so I had to go for physiotherapy in the morning. So I was unable to be regular. But as soon as I get time, I try to see the video and then get myself up to date. So regarding today, Guruji, although you have told us so many times, but still something is creating doubt in my mind. When we say Satogun, so Tamogun we know, Tamogun is out of ignorance, and Rajogun is because of the attachment. And then this Satogun is basically because of the ahankar of the knowledge, that we know something.
If we don't have Rajoguna and Tamoguna, that means we have Sattoguna. That's it.
So that is the
So
absence of Rajoguna and absence of Rajoguna and Tamoguna and Satoguna.
That is correct.
But at any moment of time, in a small fraction, all the three will be there in any way.
Yeah. Krishna is teaching that Rajas Tamas Chabhibhuyaga Sattvam Bhavati Bharata, Rajas Sattvam Tamas Chaiva, Tamas Sattvam Rajas. Sometimes the mode of goodness predominant, defeating the modes of passion and ignorance. Some other time the mode of passion becomes predominant, some other time mode of ignorance. So that way the three modes of material nature are always changing. So, but with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we are attached to Krishna, when we are not attached to the material sense objects at all, we are completely freed from the Rajoguna. And with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, when we get the full knowledge, so that means we are completely freed from the Tamoguna. So that way, for a devotee of Krishna, with the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, we will be able to free ourselves from all the three gunas. Yes.
Okay. So Guruji, when we do this chanting and we try to be associated with the Krishna, then we are basically suppressing the Rajoguna and the Tamoguna, and we are increasing our Satoguna. But then finally we have to be Nirguna. So for that, what we have to...
Anything we do, anything we are connected with Krishna, we are Nirguna. We are not influenced by the gunas.
Okay. So okay. So then in a state of Nirguna, then Pradhati Yatha Kaman Sarvan, then that state will come. Okay.
Exactly.
Right. Yes. Now I've got it. Yes. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you very much for this wonderful learning. Great learning. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Prakash Prabhu. Prakash Dev Prabhu. Satyendra Singh Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guruji, Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam Prabhu.
Hare wonderful lecture, and the Sunday lecture becomes very unique.
Yes.
Different from the interaction also. And you have interesting thing you have said that the absence of Rajoguna and Tamoguna and Satoguna. Really interesting and wonderful lecture, sir. And today's slokas, yesterday's sloka revision and today's sloka, really 8 sloka. Really wonderful listening from you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Suresh Tabi Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yesterday I was not able to attend the Guruji class.
Yes. Yeah, we were very late. I started almost.
Yeah, we had some appointments, so I had to go there.
Yes.
But then I could go through this YouTube.
Yeah.
Guruji.
Yes.
And, today's class is also very nice, Guruji. Only like in the earlier this thing you mentioned something about the Ishta place, and I think maybe what
Anishta. Yeah.
So I just wanted something like more clarification, Guruji. That was
Ishta, Anishta, Ishtam, Anishtam, Mishtam. Means in the 18th chapter, Krishna is saying that Ishtam means what we like, Anishta means what we don't like. Mishram means the mixed. So desirable, undesirable, and mixed. These are the 3 types of results a person will get in the next life. One who is not a tyagi, one who is not renouncing, one who is not giving up the attachment to the results, he will get these 3 types of results in the next life. Trividaka karmanaka palam. Whereas natu sanyasinat kvachit, natu sanyasinam. So a person who is able to give up the attachment to the results, he will not get any such reactions in the next life. So that's why we should be attached to Krishna, so then we will be freed. Yes.
Okay, Guruji, understood. Thank you, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Vishnuvardhana Rao Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Ram.
No questions, Guruji. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Mahendra Shukla Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. आपका आशीर्वाद मिला है. Thank you, Guruji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Sunil Shivas Prabhu. Palniyappan Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Today's sloga is really very interesting. Many times you have explained about
Yes.
all
Yes,
the
Prabhu.
three gunas.
Three gunas.
But still, as a sloga, this time is very, very clear. And one thing. Second thing is, see, Krishna gives us all the birth of each individual as a soul. Okay, but at the same time, he has given the difficulty of coming out and praying him because of three gunas. The three gunas and as well as the three materialistic thing. He has already given us a job in this birth, whichever birth we take. Unless otherwise, we are very sure that we are following Krishna's Bhagavad Gita, we will not be able to come out of this birth, as well as the mind, which is always wavering and always young. And that is a main thing by which the birth, if I understood clearly, the next birth depends on that.
Yes.
That also is another big problem. That means even though we can get a birth as a human, itself is a very big thing in this this one. But still, we have a very difficult job to get rid of this birth finally. That is what I will say, test given by Krishna to each individual. That
Yes,
is the
Prabhu.
thing what
We
I
just
felt.
have to develop that love, Prabhu. That is the main thing. When we love Krishna, then all the issues are gone. That's it.
Yeah,
That is what missing. The missing is that love on Krishna.
Yeah, that is the basic thing which each individual has to understand. That is the basic thing.
That is
After
the-
hearing these slogas, I felt. Thank
Yes.
you, Guru. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Mohana Ganeshan. Mataji, are you able to unmute? Hare Krishna.
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Krishna. I have not been able to attend the past two classes. Today I heard it was very nice. I will just go through the earlier videos and get back to you tomorrow.
Yes, yes, Mataji. So you
It's
are
very nice.
joining for the first time today our
Yes,
Zoom.
because I'm not very, like yesterday I tried to join, but somehow that Zoom link asked for the password.
Yeah.
So I was struggling with that. Anyway, I'll try to be regular from tomorrow. And my main thing is I am a very nervous and tense character and overthinking character. So I hope by attending these classes, I become a better human being.
No doubt, Mataji. Bhagavad Gita gives us us all the needed everything it gives information, all the needed information.
And I have to overcome many of my fears, which I hope in due course I will be able to.
If we are connected with Krishna, we don't have to. Krishna himself says that Vita, Raga, Bhaya, Krodha. So fear, anger, attachment, fear, and anger, everything will be gone. So when we focus our mind on Krishna and take shelter into Krishna, Manmaya, Mam, Upashita, everything is based on knowledge. That is the main thing. It's not blind faith. What we are following is not just like sentimental faith. It is based on complete philosophical understanding. So scientific understanding of this Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a science. So you are from Bangalore, Mataji?
Yeah, I am from Bangalore.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. So
I was connected by Sashi Rekha madam.
Yeah, Sashi Rekha Mataji. Maybe you saw in Facebook or some ad and you joined.
I saw it in Facebook.
Yeah. We
Thank
have
you so much.
Yeah, a
It was
big
nice
number
listening.
of team devotees in Bangalore. Yes, Mataji. We will meet when I visit in Bangalore. Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was nice listening to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I spoke with all devotees, and let us listen to Srila Prabhupada. Sunil Shivas Prabhu, are you able to unmute Prabhu? Hare Krishna. Let us listen to Srila Prabhupada's kirtan.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna.